on everything you need to refresh
Hey,
your
oh,
wardrobe
low
and your space.
prices, huh?
From trendy
Yeah,
apparel,
I
low
stylish
like
brands,
it.
prices
and best inline
apparently.
decor.
Get those low prices.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I was just in Minecraft Earth Map checking out classified documents from your US because everybody's in that Discord, are they not? Hang on. Sorry, I was sorry. I'm in three Discords other than mine and Minecraft Earth Map. I've been in that. Anyways, we are live from a very sunny and going to be warm, not as warm as yesterday, but still it's going to be 18 of my degrees here. 18, take that, multiply by 9, divide by 5, plus 32 gets your degrees. Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. And from somewhere with a crashed drone, North Carolina, crash drone, North Carolina. We're live on April 15th, year of our Lord 2023. Hat tip to my boy, Josh Pate, for the idea of the date and the steal. I am Jeff. He is Drone Crasher. I'm sorry, was I not supposed to tell people that?
No, it's fine. I did. I crashed a drone. And I went and bought another one, and I love it. And I think I'm going to wind up running away with it someday and having little drone babies. But yeah, no, I did. I crashed a drone.
He's going to crash that one, and he's going to buy a new one, and he's going to crash that one.
Eventually, I'm not going to be able to buy them anymore. They're going to stop letting me. However, I did register this one with the FAA this time. So I'm legit, baby. Let's do it. I'm legit.
Watch out for
I showed you a little video last night. What did you think?
Watch out for the tree. Don't fly them through trees.
Yeah.
You are not one of them drone racers.
I want to be.
Videos of the drone racers.
I have.
Those guys are zipping it. That is not you.
Hey, so there's a park that's near my house, and so
parks are good, wide open spaces.
Probably like your town or where you live. There's municipalities within your town, and there's different restrictions and things like that, right? So they park somewhere to where you can actually go and fly, anything that is electric, anything that goes in the air that's electric. So people bring their RC planes and people bring drones, etc. And they actually have a club, and they meet there every day at 10 o'clock. And for one of these shows, I'm actually going to go over there live and fly the drone with these dudes because they're going to become my new friends. All right. New friends.
Nice.
I just need friends, right? Because I talk to my dogs all day long, and I'm going a little crazy. So,
yeah, I have too many friends. I'm gonna weed friends out in my life.
I don't think anybody would call themselves your friend, Jeff. More like
good point. There are people that tolerate me is what I often
tolerate you.
Yeah, you have friends, no, but there are people who tolerate me, and then there are people who game with me. They're not my friends. There are people who game with me.
Oh, that's not true, Jeff.
Hey, guess what?
What?
4 is the number.
4 is the number today, huh?
4 is the number. 4 is the number of football games today. 2, this is the penultimate week of the XFL. 2 of those, and then 2 USFL games today, and again tomorrow.
None of which we're talking about today, by the way.
None of which we're talking about today. Plus, X Defiant closed beta.
Definitely.
Plus Trinity Fusion. Plus 2 other games that I am not allowed to say that are coming out that I need to make videos for.
Yep.
I was asked to make videos for, and so I am.
Yep.
Plus, I got
Redfall gets 30 FPS, right?
Who cares about that? I watch things.
Oh, it's a big deal to people.
I watch things on my little Pixel at 360p, 5. Give me 6 frames. That's all I need. It's what I grew up with. I played last night. What was that? 2 frames a second. Hey. I was playing last night. Everyone's like having these meltdowns. I got this 4090 and it's gotta have RTX and it's gotta have fuck you. Just play the fucking. That doesn't help you play the fucking game better. It doesn't. I've seen people with 4090s who shit the bricks in games. Oh, but it looks fucking great. Who cares? play the fucking game. It's the gameplay. Madden can look amazing. It
visual
sucks.
But to your point, I show my son or my daughter videos of games that I played when I was a kid, and they're like, "What the hell is this?" Right? So I guess kind of growing up throughout, the video game growth and being able to play things. Jeff, obviously you played things a little bit earlier than some of us, but still, I mean, I think if you started off with an NES even, you've seen quite a bit. You've seen quite a bit throughout the gaming industry. So you can appreciate the visuals, but you don't need them because you did with less.
Exactly. 100%. Exactly.
I mean, I used to play all those little handheld things where it was like the block movers and like tick, 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 tick. You remember the football game? Like tick, tick, tick. You see the ball tick, 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 tick. I mean, actually taking it even back further, I played that little game with the buttons and it had like the rings inside and the water, and you had to push the bubbles to make the water. That was a video game. That was a video game. I'm sorry.
That was.
All right, maybe not, but
on our top 10 toys, that was commented as why was that not on the list?
It's true. There were a lot of good toys that weren't on there. You can go to any doctor office in America and you can find one of those. It's got like the shapes, the wooden shapes, and there's like the metal that goes in a different direction. You got to slide all the pieces from one side to the other. Any doctor's office in America probably find that still.
I pissed myself laughing on Big Bang Theory because they're in the hospital and Penny completes that and she goes, "I completed it," and they're like, "It's not a puzzle." And Penny thought it was a puzzle. Still one of my favorite scenes from Big Bang Theory.
I took a drink right then.
This is where we make Ryzak spit up his coffee.
Oh my god!
Where we make Ryzak spit up his coffee.
I want to spit up on myself.
Because all right, that's how we roll. That's how we roll here in the Shire.
What are we talking today? You already gave away like 7 topics that I didn't even put on here.
I know. That's why we talked about it up first.
That's good. All right. This first one is.
And don't forget, folks, this episode's sponsored by Wondershare. If you want to make awesome videos like I do, have you been watching my MLB videos? I've got 2 shorts coming out today. XFL, USFL predictions. You want to make cool editing videos like that? Use our sponsor, Wondershare.
You can. So no SPG. There is no Major League Baseball on here today. Not a bit. Not one. We've overdone the baseball topics the past 2 weeks.
I have a slide rule somewhere. I do have a slide rule somewhere.
Not doing it.
I do have a slide rule somewhere. I don't know where it is. All right.
The first topic here is personal to me. Jeff doesn't give a shit, but it's number 1 because I made the slide. So suck on it. Actually, that's not the first story. This is backwards. But oh well. I can only edit so much, people. You understand that, right? We've got a new king coming.
Just so you know, folks, we limit our production meetings to 2 hours, and after 2 hours, the show's done. Whether if the show's in the can after our 2-hour production meeting, that's all we give ourselves. So
and
I know other shows in our community spend hours on their production meetings before they go live on Tuesdays. I understand that, but whatever.
Word to the wise: when you're when you're editing your slides, try to only keep your corrections to like 1 or 2 a slide, because if you go to another slide and then you make an adjustment and then you forget to go back and make it on the other one, you get this right here, right? So just limit your mistakes and roll with what you got.
It's true.
That's my advice. All right, so we got a new king coming. We've got some playoffs that are among us in the greatest sport in America for sure. And then we got some Did You Hear About? And you're giving me the 5 guest topic today. So, Jeff, with that said,
I got a banger today. To quote my boy Tim.
God, I hope not. You've gotten me good the past couple times. So let's see. First story here. Little disclosure. I'm gonna try my best not to get too emotional. All right. But there's your Wondershare. Sorry. The Washington Commanders are about to have a new owner. And although I despise the name and I despise everything that has happened with this franchise in the last 24 years, I am extremely grateful and thankful that this this is upon us. So they are going to be sold. It's a matter of time at this point. $6.05 billion. What you got a timeout already?
I do.
Oh,
Timeout.
boy.
So last night, WUTV9. Do you know them? Heard of them?
I don't know WUTV, no.
They are reporting there is another bid.
There was another bid, yeah.
There is another bid that's higher. Now I know.
Is it your Canadian guy?
It is not. It is former NCAA men's basketball champion. No, not Christian Leitner, but not Grant Hill, but their teammate Brian Davis.
Oh wow!
Has put in a $7 billion all cash offer. $1 billion on signing. The other $6 a few days later. And again, nothing has been approved.
Yeah,
by the league yet.
We've got this year, right? Three quarters of the owners
24.
have to approve it.
Yeah,
right.
It's not been done
24
yet.
of the 32. Obviously, the one selling is included in this, and they're going to vote to have it go through, right? So it's got to be 24 of the 32. You can tell that I did all this last night, and I didn't look at shit this morning, so had no idea about the $7 billion bid. But that's amazing.
Yep.
You know what kills me about this, Jeff, is that this piece of shit. And I'm going to call him that because he's a piece of shit. All right. When you're a piece of shit, you just get called a piece of shit. That's just what it is. Dan Snyder is a piece of shit. And the fact that he is going to get even richer because of the competition for the sell of the franchise, it just makes me cringe. And so I have something I'll share here in just a second, and I'll keep on with that theme. But this is going to wind up being, whether it's this one or the other one, the highest sale price of an NFL franchise to date. In 22, the Broncos sold for $4.65 billion. So this is just going to set a trend where you're going to see these franchises higher and higher and higher. And as much as I hate them, and I don't use that word a lot, but I hate the Cowboys. If they were to sell right now, their valuation would probably be more north of like 15 billion.
Oh yeah.
Like in all honesty, that's how crazy it is. So this is going to be unprecedented going forward. Now you're never going to see, these numbers happen again. It's just going to get bigger. In 24 seasons with Snyder as the owner, 24 seasons, 21 of those I considered myself a diehard fan. 164 wins, 220 losses, 2 ties, 6 playoff appearances in 24 years. I
you won the division a couple years ago. Won the division a couple years ago.
Yeah, at 7-9. So let's not get crazy here. But I grew up in the DC area. I grew up 17 miles from the capital. I bled burgundy and gold for many, many years. I remember calling my grandmother on the phone every time they would score a touchdown, and we would sing Hail to the Redskins together. Like, the memories are overflowing the cup. Okay. In 1999, I was a senior in high school, and this 35, 36-year-old, however old he was, guy, buys the team. And it's like, who the hell is this? Who the hell is this guy, right? Like, what is he going to do? Built some tech company out of his garage, whatever. Goes and starts throwing money at every NFL has-been that there had ever been. Deion Sanders, Bruce Smith, to name a few, right? Brings in Joe Gibbs, tries to save his reputation, brings in Joe Gibbs. And Joe did a great job. I don't think Joe gets enough credit for the job he did, considering the change in era from when he was there before, right? So this is crazy. Just troubled story after troubled story. You've got stuff with the cheerleaders. You've got all of the stuff that's happening in those walls, the disgusting stories that you hear about how he had the editing team make clips of all the girls, exposing parts of their photo shoot and just make him a clip of nudity. And like, it's just disgusting. It's disturbing. Everything about what they have done is despicable. And I am so happy for the area, and I'm so happy for anybody still holding on to those values that were there in the 80s and the early 90s. This is a great day for them. F this guy. He changed the team name 3 different times and only had 2 playoff wins. And then my mom sent me this one this morning. There's a brewery up there that's actually taking this to another level. Like most people try to make a profit on something, right? They've created their own brew. Bye, Dan. It says it smells like 24 years of bitterness, or tastes like 24 years of bitterness. Nice. I hope this guy lives happily ever after on his yacht.
Look where that's from.
India. I'm just playing.
No, that's
okay. WUSA 9.
That's who just reported this Brian Davis sale.
Look, you said WUTA or some shit like that.
USA 9.
Okay, so that is the local CBS affiliate for the DC metropolitan area. Yes.
Yes, and it was Daryl, whatever his name was. He was reporting it last night.
Well, there you go. And I had already gone to bed, so F that.
I read.
I'm just glad it sold.
I read parts of it. I read parts of it to you because remember we talked about the fact that bid includes indemnification against Schneider. And folks, Law 101, that means that no prosecution could be brought against him for anything that they find once they take over. That's what it means. It means you're indemnified. You are protected against.
He's such a piece of shit that he had to go and get an amnesty clause of some kind built into the sale of his team, so he couldn't get in trouble.
I don't know. It's in that one. I don't know if it's in the hot Josh Harris one. I have not read the contract yet.
Such a piece of shit. Anyway, this Josh Harris group has NBA Hall of Famer Magic Johnson as a part of it. Magic Johnson has. He has business ties to the area. If you travel north on 295 around DC or through DC, next to like Southeast DC, there is a Pepsi plant that sits up on the right side if you're going north. And Magic Johnson, I don't know if he still owns it, but he used to own it back in the 80s and 90s. So anyway, pretty cool that this is going to happen finally. So if only RG3's knee could have been a little bit better, I'd be a happy guy today. So
we'll see what happens. I'll keep an eye on what Darren's saying over there. WUSA 9.
It's going to be soon. It's going to happen soon. If we're to this point now, it's going to happen soon. So they're going to welcome these NFL owners to vote again. 24 of the 32. I would like to see which ones don't vote, because then I would also put a flag on them that they're also pieces of shit and maybe they need to be investigated. So anyway. Let's move on from this one before I throw my fist through the screen. A new king is coming, Jeff. A new king. We all know this. Queen Elizabeth. Rest in peace.
He's already here. He's already here.
Well, I mean, but the coronation, the official crowning is going to happen here next month, right? So, although he is king by stature, until that crown is on his head, a little different. Yes, sir.
You kicked those guys out, so why do you care? Remember, you had a little skirmish. Little skirmish. A couple of 100 years ago. Yeah,
you know what it is that my lineage.
We kept them. We kept them.
My lineage goes over there. My wife's lineage goes over there. My in-laws emigrated here from there. So there's ties in at least my family to this, right? A lot of people get caught up in the royals. A lot of people love the pop culture factor of the royals, right? And that's kind of why
you guys now for a few years ago, between 18 and 22, you guys were probably hoping to have them back.
When?
Between 18 and 22.
I don't know. There was a lot of dumb shit going on over there too, Jeff. So
when you had the last guy, I think you were hoping. Yeah,
but you were hoping to get a lot of stuff going on too. So it depends on where you want to,
Yeah.
Anyway, the coronation is coming up next month, and there's some big news that has come out in the past, 2 weeks here. We didn't touch on it last week, but Camilla, the wife of Charles, is actually going to be identified as the queen. He is the only one that can give her that title, so that's very big news in the royal circles, right? Because of all the past controversy.
There is a number of things that Mummy wanted, and he went, "Okay, Mummy. Okay, Mummy. Mummy's God," and he's like, "All right, you know what? Fuck the bitch. This is my job now." And he's changing all sorts of things that what Mummy wanted, Mummy isn't getting. Mummy's up there looking down at him, going, "Oh, you bastard! I knew
Well,
I
we know
should have
that
hung on.
there's
I knew I should have hung on until Fast Willie could have taken away."
we know that there's some there's some underlying stories within the family, right? And if you've
Mhm.
watched any of the if you watched Harry and Meghan's documentary,
I have not.
there's some things that they talk about in there that may or may not be the right thing, depending on who you are, what you believe. But Harry is going to attend the coronation, but he's going to do so without Meghan. And this struck me as a little bit odd. Her reasons are because she wants to, be with the kids, and I get it. There's a separation in the bloodline there, and the hierarchy of things, whatever. Like, their children will never sit on the throne. They'll never do that.
No.
There's been a lot of questioning about their relationship for obvious and less obvious reasons, right?
Well, and
The way that
because
they
of
came together and stuff. So
yeah, and we don't have to get into how it all
no, no, no,
works,
no,
but
no. I'm setting up something else.
I know. But their first kid actually can be a princess because of how shit works. She wasn't
Correct.
able to before, but now she can be called a princess because
Right.
she's
Right.
how
But
shit works.
it's still
But
not the same, and it's
no,
not as
no,
I don't want to offend anyone from England or anybody that this is really important to. Please, I apologize in advance if I say this wrong, but she's not important enough
no,
to have a seat of importance at the coronation, like
correct.
William and Kate's kids, right?
Yes,
And so
correct.
that's the big news that happened yesterday that I wanted to bring up, because this is history right here. This is historic. You have William and Kate's son, Prince George. He's going to make history at his grandfather's coronation. You see right here, he's going to be the page of honor. Okay, so that is actually an official job, or an official post within the coronation celebration. It's the first time. Now, he is second in line to the throne after
True.
William. Okay, this is the first time anybody with direct lineage or direct pathway to the throne has taken part in the coronation ceremony. That's
Correct.
history. You're welcome. There you
Yeah.
go. So whether you care or not, it's a historic day when it comes to the English royals.
Correct.
So very cool. May the 6th. I will be over there in July, so I will miss all of this. But if there are any t-shirts left over that are on sale, I'll make sure to grab some for all of you. We'll send them out. I saw it live, written in marker.
Put the Stadia logo on it. There you go.
I love it.
Put the Stadia logo on it. Bruce Campbell is here, and as a fellow Commonwealth,
that's right.
As a fellow Commonwealther.
Yep, it did not end. They are still the Royals. So
fun fact: my dad remembers the prior king. He remembers when there used to be a king. My dad's also 95 and a half years old. So there's lots of shit that he remembers. Stuff that happened last week. A little fuzzy on some days. But he's also 95 and a half years old.
Yep. I like Purple's comment right here. We're there's a story a little bit later on that kind of goes along with that too. So yeah.
It goes back to my original comment of you guys kicked them out. So
yeah, right. So yeah.
You guys again, you had that little skirmish.
I can remember watching all of these things. My mom, my wife, everybody. It's just if something happens over there, they're glued to the TV. So I like Harry. I watched the documentary. I'm rooting for the guy. Like I would like to have a beer with Harry and just talk about some shit, because I think that he has a lot of really good insights on things because of mistakes that he's made.
Well, even his dumb wife, some of the comments she's made, like, "Oh, I didn't know about the royal family." How do you not know about unless even if you live under a rock? Like, I'm sorry, you got to know a little something.
You can know of them, but it doesn't mean you know about them, right? Like, everybody has probably heard of Princess Diana, but not everybody might know all the stuff she went through to lead up to the accident. If they're not following it or digging it, especially in other parts of the country, the world.
Some of the comments she's made, I'm just like, whatever.
Look, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. I just said I like Harry, so I want to have a beer there.
There you go.
So there you go.
There you go.
All right, let's move on from this one.
Is he gonna for the coronation? Is he gonna get a frozen Todger like he did his brother's wedding? Is that like
I don't know.
now? Okay.
But
when you're having a beer with him, can you find out?
What I didn't add in here is that his late brother's wife was not invited to the coronation, so that's some big gossipy news over there too. But I tried to stay away from the gossip and just get into the history part. So there you go.
Who's late brother's wife? What?
Charles' brother's wife.
Charles had a brother?
I guess so. That's what I read. I thought
Charles had a brother. I thought he had a sister.
Well, I thought it said brother's wife. I'll have to look it up and
Okay.
recorrect after the show if that's not the case. But
All
I
right.
thought I read.
Crow Resin is here. Can you quickly fact check that, buddy?
Yeah, I thought he said brothers. I thought it said brother's wife was.
I didn't think
invited.
I thought there was just the two of them. I thought he had a sister and him. I didn't think he had a brother. But,
well, there you go. There you go.
Hold on, I can wait. I might be. Did Prince Charles have a brother? Did Prince Charles have a brother?
Yeah, Andrew and Edward.
Oh, Andrew and Edward. Which one is dead?
None of them.
Oh.
So then just didn't invite his wife. So the late part is wrong.
What about him?
Well, did you want them for your show and tell?
No.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Oh, we're going off the board. We're going off the. Can I go full screen?
Yeah, do it.
How do I do that?
You got to unclick me and then stop sharing.
Oops.
Yeah, you did it. Unclick me and then there. Stop sharing.
Where is the? So here I'll just do this. So these are official.
Oh dang!
Whatever you want to call these.
And you don't care. You've got signed memorabilia in your house.
I don't care. These are not mine. These are someone else's in the house.
That is someone
awesome,
else's.
Though. But I do not care. And she happened to come down the stairs. That's right. He's got two brothers. None of them are dead. None of them are dead. Because he said it was his late brother's ex-wife or something. If someone not invited to the coronation.
Prince Andrew's ex-wife.
Prince Andrew's ex-wife. He's still alive.
So he's not dead. He's still alive. But
he's the one that did all the stuff on the island. So I guess they wish.
See, I shouldn't talk about stories I don't know the facts about. There you go.
He's the Epstein character.
Right. I was never invited.
And Fergie is his ex-wife who still lives with him.
Fergie is his ex-wife that still lives with him. Well, don't they all live in castles?
But Fergie is not being invited either. See,
she doesn't get to come either.
And she took on the Queen's corgis.
And she took the Queen's, stole them. Just that does not work like that. You got to move that one over. This one? Yes, because you look over. Oh, what did you do? Broke the man cave. The man cave's broken. The man cave is broken.
SPG. All right.
To be fair, this guy said
this was a stirry, controversial topic right here. I didn't realize this one was going to stir the pot. Usually, it's the baseball stuff or Kyrie Irving.
All right, where am I missing here? What's it say? Can't be on top while outstanding on someone else's poop. That is true. To be fair, it's his cousin. Okay, sure, whatever. They're all interrelated. Crow says, "Oh yeah, show and tell time." Because the king guy was almost invited to our wedding, but I drew a line that said if we haven't seen them in 10 years, they're not coming. So there was actually calls being made and there was shit happening. I don't know what you're talking about, Bill. All right, what's next? What are we talking about?
You gotta share my screen again.
That's
why I was laughing so hard. I thought you were avoiding it.
What are we talking about?
All right, the greatest sport in America, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than hockey. Ice hockey, greatest sport in America. Don't care what Jeff has to say about the NFL, and it is playoff time. So the playoffs are set. You've got your Eastern Conference matchups. You've got your Western Conference matchups. The Seattle Kraken up there in the top right. They are only in their second year. Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead. I know what you're going to say.
What is this graphic right here? That second one down, left side of the slash. What is that? What is that?
Why are the colors blue and white? I thought the maple leaf was red.
Because the Canadians are red. And they're one of the
I'm serious. Like, I'm not trying to be funny or anything. Is that like a thing?
Yeah. The Canadians,
Okay.
Canadians are red and white because they're the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah.
Canada, Canadians. So Blue Jays the Maple Leafs adopted blue. They are one of the original 6.
Right, I know that. Were they there before the Blue Jays? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When were the Blue Jays? 70s, 60s?
77, I believe, was their first year.
I thought so because the Sky Dome was built brand new, right?
It was.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I
said we weren't going baseball.
They used to play at the waterfront. It was what was called Exhibition Stadium. So that's where they originally played, and there used to be a ball. There used to be a big thing there. It's the exhibition. It's now Exhibition Place. It's a big stop on the GO train. It's a whole big thing. But that they used to play there. And then they moved to the Sky Dome. Yeah.
Right.
But the Maple Leafs are in the playoffs for the 7th straight year or something stupid.
And we haven't
won it.
Hold on, I didn't mean it that it wasn't different from Canada. I meant that I thought historically Maple Leafs were shown as red, and so if the team is called the Maple Leafs, why is the leaf blue? That was where I was going. Not to have to be patriotic in color. I thought Maple Leafs historically on things were red, so that's what my question was for.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. The Maple Leafs 7 years in a row. But when was the last time they won, Jeff?
Oh, good question. I have to listen to the Tragically Hip song, 1962.
And then, of course, my wonderful Carolina Hurricanes are in as well. Won the division. They take on the Islanders first. I think that they will get through that round. I don't know how the next round's gonna look. That Devils and Rangers series is going to be one for the ages, I think.
Oh,
excited to see some of the Western Conference matchups.
I was corrected. 63. Again, I said I'd have to listen to I'd have to listen to the Tragically Hip song. Tragically Hip is a big iconic Canadian band.
Big news in hockey for these playoffs, right? 2 of hockey's all-time greats currently active all-time greats. Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin will not be in the playoffs for the first time since 2006.
Yeah, fun, excellent.
That is insane. That's like Tom Brady, greatness from a hockey level when it comes to the time that they've been successful, right? And each of them has Stanley Cup. Crosby has 2, 3. Ovi has 1. Anyway, pretty interesting that when you start to see these aging stars, kind of like
I'm a big fan of aging out. I'm an ageism guy. Once you get to a certain age, you can move. Football, hockey, whatever, baseball. Once you get to a certain point, it's a young man's game. Move on. Move on is my philosophy, folks. Move on.
Well, we will move on, and Vegas has the Boston Bruins as the favorite to win the playoffs. Of course, they made the historic season official a few nights ago. They have the most wins in the regular season in NHL history, most points in a season in NHL history, and for very good reason, are the favorites for the Cup. So,
yep,
we will see.
Shout out to Boston native community member. It's just Joe. He's a big Boston Bruin fan.
It's just Joe.
I have spent time in Boston, so yeah.
Boston's fun. Mm-hmm. I can't say that everywhere in Boston is fun, but Boston's fun.
Traffic sucks, but
hey, the other sport, the NBA.
Bruce, I got a YouTube video I got to send you about Metallica. I will send that to you later.
They've got their playoffs going.
Yes,
just made official last night. The Miami Heat beat the Chicago Bulls for the last play-in spot in the East. The Minnesota Timberwolves beat the Oklahoma City Thunder for the last play-in spot in the West. Jeff, you are very bitter about the proceedings from a couple of nights ago because the Raptors were actually in the play-in tournament. And do you kind of want to set us up for what happened there?
Well, first of all, we'll have to discuss this whole play-in nonsense. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. But, we had a 19-point lead in the second half, and we somehow blew and we lost by 4. And
Whoa. You didn't just somehow blow it, okay?
we somehow blew it.
There were
And
things going on, Jeff, in the
and
arena that may or may not have contributed to.
I want Children's Aid. What do they call that? Who are those people in the U.S.
Child
that
Protective Services.
I want them to
CPS.
investigate. I want them to investigate. I mentioned this on my stream last night. Why there was some girl who should have been in school at the game screaming. And why did security not do something?
Well, that girl is not just some girl, Jeff. She is none other than DeMar DeRozan, who is DeMar DeRozan's daughter, who's a star player for the Bulls, the team that wins, right?
And he used to play for a team. What team did he used to play for?
He used to play for the Spurs, the San Antonio Spurs, and
what team did he used to play for?
He used to play with Kyle Lowry and Serge Ibaka and
Spicy P.
Jonas Valanciunas.
So that I need
the Vancouver Grizzlies.
Can we get an investigation as to why what kind of parent takes his kid cross border, left the country, even went to a different country to cause havoc?
Goodness.
Like when this was happening, right? Why, security? Why wasn't the league stepping in? Why? Where were her parents? Where was her father when all this was happening, folks?
They interviewed him after the game, right? And he was like, I didn't even know who it was.
We have now turned to the angry part of the show, the old angry man.
Yeah. So let me jump in here for a sec, okay? Because I think what she did was absolutely hilarious, okay? However, with that said, if I was at that arena and that was continually going on, I do feel like I'd have to be like, what is going on? Like, and the commotion of people should make security go over and say something. Again, wasn't there, don't know why, don't know what happened. I just think that if this little girl single-handedly made y'all lose, then y'all deserve to lose, because this is just a small excuse.
And she was probably sitting in like the players area. It was probably, everybody that's where the visiting players, the husbands and the wives of the players and the families and all the other are probably, it's all in the same controlled area, right?
Can you imagine how amazing she must feel to think that she helped the team? She was like the sixth player.
But was she grounded? She got grounded.
I don't know. Everybody seemed to enjoy it, so she might be by heroic. Well, not everybody. You're right. Okay, because
if it was a
now
road
Chicago
game,
had to go on and play Miami, and we already showed you Miami wound up winning the game. But what was funny was that the Heat mascot, he had this set up at the game yesterday for. We're not going to be doing that nonsense in here. Mm-hmm. And when you and I were doing, kind of our preview last night, we were watching the game. And you wouldn't have been able to hear her scream in that place. The fans in Miami were super loud, like the whole game. So anyway, pretty gnarly story. The NBA playoffs will start here soon, right? They just finalized last night. So they've got the Milwaukee Bucks as the favorite. Depends on who you talk to. A lot of people are going with the Lakers for some reason, like they've proven that they are championship caliber material here. They had to play in a play-in game. So Jeff, the play-in game, you said you don't like it. Why?
Maybe I'm just old school. Top 8, boom, go. What's this? Oh, you're 10th, and if you play a game, and then you lose. Oh, but that's okay. Play another game, and then if you win, you get to proceed. I don't know. Just top 8, boom, go.
Yep.
Top 8.
Do you like the play-in game? Do you like the play-in game in the NCAA tournament?
That I do. Gives these young kids an extra shot. I'm good with the play-in in the college, but at the pros, you know what? If you didn't make the top 8, well, play better. Don't get hurt. Okay, Toronto, you didn't make top 8. Well, play better. I don't know.
And I want to point that out. You're not just bitter because of Toronto's situation. You even told me last night you understand like they were one of those teams that had to get the play in too. And so I think that it does add a little bit of a wrinkle.
So they're out. Boom, they're out. It just extends it. Yeah, it makes a little bit more money. Yeah. Rue was invited to the game. Why weren't you? I'm blaming you. Now you're out of my Discord. I'm blaming you because you should have gone and you should have shut that down. Should have walked over there and you should have said, security, hello, security, what's going on? Can you should have been calling the police. You should have been calling the children's aid. You should, Rue. I blame Rue now. It's Rue's fault.
Purple said something in here and said this is not something new. And I 100% agree with her because, you can watch SportsCenter at any given point during the college basketball season and watch a group of kids giving birth to another student under a sheet, like right there at the free throw line. And like these things happen. There's people that yell during free throw. There's people that bang those, noise sticks together.
Oh, yeah, they do that. They do the
like,
oh, yeah.
So
oh, yeah.
the difference with this one is that it was quiet and it was just such a high pitched shriek, right as they were shooting, which can startle anybody, just like a screech of tires when you're driving the car or anything like that. But guys are professionals. They get paid to deal with distractions, and there's always distractions. There's always people trying to badmouth them, yell at them, scream at them. This one in particular really seems to have had an effect on the game when you look at those numbers. So pretty incredible stuff. In all honesty. I like the play in, just to get that in there. I think it's cool.
Right.
You kind of have like a mini playoff before the playoffs. So
comment. Do you like the play in or not? Let's do a little mini poll. I could set up a poll, but can't be bothered. That's my problem with golf. With golf, right? Like baseball, right? Everybody is screaming. A guy is taking a ball and whipping it at my head at 100 miles an hour. Golf, we have to be quiet because the guy is going to hit a ball that's not moving. It's just sitting there and it's not moving. But I'm the announcer and I'm 4 kilometers away at the booth, but I have to be quiet because he's going to hit a stationary ball.
Mm-hmm. The other thing I'll say about the play in here too, just one more. We said we were going to talk about it last night. Both of the teams that advanced lost their first game.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
They're rewarding. It's what we do now. We reward mediocrity. We reward. Oh, you didn't win. Everyone gets a participant ribbon. No, they don't.
There's
losers.
There's something going on here in America right now where they're talking about banning participation trophies.
Good.
So we'll see. All right, let's move it. What do we got next? We got, did you hear about a couple of cool stories here? We'll roll through these. I think that this is much bigger news. Purple Haze, I hope you'll agree with me on this. Jason Tatum is the only Boston Celtic in the history of the franchise. Now, the Boston Celtics are one of the original ABA teams, right? Like, you want to talk original 6 from the NHL? Boston Celtics are that. One of the most storied franchises, them and the Lakers, they have a constant battle for who can win the most championships, in history, this and that. He's the only player in all of these years to average 30 points per game in a regular season. And you think about some of the players that have played there, to name a few.
Larry Bird is probably Larry Bird,
Pete Maravich, Larry Bird, Bill Russell, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish. He was more of a role player anyway. But you get into some of the guys that later. Kyrie played there, right? I went and looked. If you go back and look at the Celtics numbers for the franchise, the next closest person to Jason Tatum's average is Isaiah Thomas, not the champion winning Isaiah Thomas from the Pistons, right? The little Isaiah Thomas, okay, who was awesome with the Celtics, okay? He was exciting to watch. 24 points per game. 24 points per game. That's it. You mean Larry Bird never averaged over 24 points per game? Larry Bird is considered by many to be one of the greatest, have the greatest scoring touches, right? But he never averaged 24 points per game. He wasn't even the best 3-point shooter of his time, but we always put him in, when we think about 3 points because of that 3-point competition that he was in that year. So Awesome stuff. I just couldn't
Yep.
believe that this was real. I had to go look. So congratulations to Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, right? Like none of those dudes. Wow. Ray Allen, nobody. Nope. So there you go.
There you go.
Tiger Woods Masters last week. He had to pull out, had
He was my
another
pick.
injury
Didn't
with his
I pick
plantar
him?
fasciitis.
Didn't I pick him?
You did pick him. Crow Resin told you that you should not. You should go with Mike Weir, and you chose Tiger on a comeback.
How would that have worked out for me?
Well, you would have got one round by yourself, right?
You're half a round, anyways. At least half a round. Didn't get the whole 18 by himself, but he got a good chunk of it by himself. Yeah. Yeah.
So he's out again, and it's sad because I started playing golf because of Tiger Woods. I was a freshman in high school when Tiger was 16 and tearing up the PGA as this new young guy, and at Stanford, and I like gravitated to him. He was so cool. He was like the Michael Jordan of golf to me, right? Like the Nike stuff and, just his fist pump. And I mean, he was animated, and then he was just dominant. He was just winning. And I wanted to be like him. I wanted to hit the ball a mile, and I can do that to this day. I can drive the ball 300 yards, no problem. I can't chip and putt worth a damn to save my life because I don't practice, but I can still hit the ball long. And it's because I wanted to be like this guy. So it's just sad to see he was so dominant, and then personal trouble, injury trouble, bodies breaking down. There's been scientific research done on his swing from all those years when he was dominant that it has completely just broken down the core of his body. So
again,
it sucks. It sucks.
You get to a certain age.
But let me ask you a question. If you were to go to the Masters and follow the crowd, who do you think would have the biggest crowd?
Oh, Tiger.
It's still Tiger. It's still Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always, as long as he's there, going to be Tiger. Because look, he won. I can't remember what it was, U.S. Open or whatever it was, like 2 years ago, where he had that like historic. He had the embrace with his son. Maybe it was the Masters. I can't remember, but. Yeah. I have not played this season, but definitely going to be getting some in soon. We've had a lot of rain here lately, so just haven't gotten it.
It's only April, people.
Yeah, well, golf is year round in the South, Jeff.
I did go golfing once, folks. I did go golfing once. Had a really bad time. Couldn't get it past the stupid windmill.
You didn't play one with the clown mouth, just the windmill?
Yeah, just the windmill.
That's awesome.
Thank you, folks. I'm here all week. Tip your waitress and try the veal and tip your waitress. I'm here all week.
Jeff, you can have this one. This is NFL news. You love the NFL.
I like all sports except soccer.
But you love the NFL.
Well, love.
This is your guy right here, OBJ. He was going to be a Cowboy.
He is not my guy, and he was never going to be a Cowboy. But never going to be a Cowboy. 1 year, 15 guaranteed, up to 18 with some incentives. He was set to go meet with the Jets. He had a plane ticket. He was packing to go and talk to the Jets, and then Baltimore said hell nah and gave him the money. My sports producer and I hypothesized that he picked them because he'll be the number one guy, whereas in the Jets, he probably would have been the number two guy. So I think he went with Baltimore just so he could play with Lamar, not knowing if and when Aaron, we all know Aaron's coming. Yes, we know that. But if and when Aaron will show up in New York, but he would also be the number two guy behind, they got a busy wide
we still don't
receiver
know that
room.
Lamar is going to be the quarterback, right?
So Lamar's going to be the quarterback. Lamar.
You think you think that'll happen?
Yeah.
Because I know that they interviewed him and he said, look, I wasn't guaranteed that he would be there when I signed this deal, right? Yeah. I think I look at this, and for those of you that don't know who this is or don't follow football at all, Odell Beckham Jr. Had a amazing one-handed catch that kind of rose him to instant fame. He's been a very solid receiver when he played for the Giants, had maybe a little bit of a down year when he went to the Browns, and then he went out to the Rams. was in the Super Bowl with the Rams doing phenomenal, was the MVP at that point in the Super Bowl, probably when he just shredded his knee on the turf. And he did not play last year. And now he is signing a 1-year, $18 million contract, 15 guaranteed, three incentives, right?
Up to 18.
Right.
Yeah,
but to get that big of a deal, regardless of what you've done in your career, coming off of an injury like that, when, it's taken you a little bit longer to get back into it, Baltimore needs a receiver. Let's be honest. That's one thing that they have not had. So for them, this is a low risk, high reward kind of deal, right? Okay. 15 mil, whatever. It's just 1 year. So, and I know that sounds crazy to talk about money like that, but that's what the NFL does. So
it does. And we, my producer and I, we call them just these little prove 'em deals, right? Just give me a 1 year little prove 'em deal and then see what you can do, right? NFL is huge with that. Tons of people get these. If you look through all of them, go see my friend Joel over at Sport Tac. There's all these 1 year deals. They're just these little prove me deals, right? Just stick them on, give them 10, 15, little prove me deal, and no harm, no foul. If he ends up being a bust, all right, he's a bust, you move on. It's only 15 mil in the bigger grand scheme of things of the 250 billion salary cap. It's nothing. So, good on him.
And the salary cap goes up. They haven't even announced what the new one is, have they?
Oh yeah.
I guess they would have had to, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're not talking about it this week. I was going to save it for next week, but we've got draft coming up in 2 weeks as well. So there's going to be some big movement here on these rosters and salary caps and all that. I saw this here. Why don't you take that one first?
Which one?
That question from Purple.
What was the question?
Question for us, sir.
I thought it was a comment. What's better or worse, a catch that defines the career or a hit that defines their career? Not saying OBG's careers was defined by a catch, just asking. They're both the same. There's always something that defines the person, whether it's a hit, it could be that, some big hit, or it could be negatively. The baseball guy who the ball went through his legs in the Super Bowl, Kirk Gibson, that defined his career. I was struggling with his name, but that was a bad play. That all the million things he did, Kirk Gibson had the home run. It was Bill Buckner. Bill Buckner had the thing between his legs. Kirk Gibson had that walk-off home run off the bench. Right.
I'm laughing at you, but I started laughing at Purple Hayes' comment there.
I'm old.
Because I agree. Like, $18 million prove me deal. That's a hell of a hefty price tag for a 1 year deal and somebody coming off that big injury. Usually you see
I would not let Purple Hayes date him. I'm sorry.
Hey man, he might be a really nice guy.
No. As the big brother to Purple, I would step in and say, no, you are staying away from that road, that train. No.
What else
No. We'll find Purple. We'd get Purple a nice Christian boy, nice Christian boy from the church, goes to church, loves his mother. That's the kind of guy we'll find for Purple.
This might make 4 shows in a row that we've talked about the Cavender twins. I promise you, I'm not obsessed with them. Okay,
this is the last show we're talking about the Cavender.
Yeah,
twins.
Hopefully. So now they're leaving the University of Miami, right? They've been offered a new NIL deal that is going to open up new opportunities for them. They've kind of hinted at what that is. People are speculating. Did you see what that is?
I did, but you can say it.
So they've signed an NIL deal with the WWE, the World Wrestling Entertainment Association, or whatever in the hell they call themselves. So these girls are going to go be professional wrestlers. Maybe we don't know exactly what yet. They said that the WWE's views line up with their views about health and physical fitness, training, stuff like that. But keep in mind, they've signed the NIL deal with the WWE, but as we talked about last week, the WWE and the UFC have come together now, right?
They have.
So that could wind up being an even bigger thing for them. Maybe they do some hosting of events. Maybe they, I don't know. I don't know.
They'll be headlining a UFC PPV.
Could be.
Very shortly.
Could be.
Very
so there you
shortly.
go. We're done
Yeah.
talking about the Cavender twins. Good luck to them until they do something terrible that we need to talk about. Good luck.
Yep.
They were really good basketball players too. That's really shitty. They probably could have done well coming back next year, but you know,
maybe God.
Everybody's got to make a choice. Everybody's gonna make a choice for what path they want to take in life. Sometimes we can rush things and we don't get time back. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
All right, this is what I wanted to get into earlier when we were talking about on that King stuff. So all of these stories that you can see here, the Arizona Cardinals, the NFL football team, their owner, Michael Bidwell, he has got some serious allegations going against him right now, misconduct, verbally berating women. There's a former COO that has come out and talked about all of this. He tried to file I think with the league back in 2020 and it got turned away. And so I started looking into this Michael Bidwell guy and who he is. And his father was Bill Bidwell, right? He is the man that moved the Cardinals to Arizona. From where, Jeff? Do you know?
No, don't remember.
Chicago is where the Cardinals were created. So the great grandfather is the one that bought the team originally, and he was a little bit of a businessman. He had owned a racetrack. He had owned some kind of like sports marketing type of deal. And this guy came to him that owned the Cardinals, and he was about $40,000 in debt. And so, the guy's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm in debt. I'm going to lose everything. And Bidwell's wife was like, well, why don't you just, sell it to him? He could probably, turn things around. And so he did. So he sold it for $50,000, but $40,000 of the debt was included in that. So he only gave him $10,000 for the team. Okay. And then took on the $40,000 debt. So $50,000, they're valued at like what, $2, $3, $4 billion now, like great legacy deal for their team. But I start looking into this a little bit more. And do you know that the great grandfather
very sketchy family?
The great grandfather Bidwell was involved with the mafia and specifically Al Capone.
Yeah, but who wasn't back in the 20s?
And when Al Capone went to prison, right, his lawyer somehow became a partial owner of the team, got some stock in the team. So when Al Capone got out of prison, it caused all kinds of controversy to where the government actually indicted them, actually tried to charge them, with a lot of illegal activity that eventually got thrown out. But there were a couple of times that he was involved in that going forward. So, you hear these stories of these owners and how they became rich or how they got their teams. I talked about Dan Snyder earlier, how much of a piece of shit he is. We've seen the guy out there, Donald Sterling, the Clippers owner. You've seen the Phoenix Suns owner here recently, Sarver. All of these guys are connected. They're all a part of the same circle, right? And so I pulled up something else, and it was showing all these different NFL team families and how they came in. Like the Maras, the Giants owners, the Maras, their great grandfather was a bookie in New York. You've got people that have gotten what they've gotten because of murder. You've got people that have gotten what they got because they stole it from somebody. Like, it is crazy. And so, Purple, to your point earlier, back when we were talking about the royalty, if you dig deep enough, you can really find some nasty shit about everything. And the NFL as a whole is made up of.
Just want to say Jerry. Just want to say Jerry was an oil guy. Pure.
And you don't think the oil industry is dirty at all?
Not at all. Not at all. Just want to say, Jerry. Yeah.
Hey, he's had his fair share of things too, right? He's had cheerleaders and people that have come out and said stuff, and he just
allegedly nothing has been proven in a court of law. Allegedly, everything in your country, it's innocent until proven guilty. Nothing has.
Unless you're Donald Trump, I'm just saying. Not that I'm not rooting one way or the other, but he apparently is not. He apparently is guilty of all charges without going through trial.
Nothing has been. He's been convicted of nothing, and
he has not. That is right.
All
right. What do we got next? That's done.
It's been said a few times. You don't get to.
I hope that piece of shit loses his team too. So,
Fun fact: he's a pilot. He flies his own private plane. So when he flies around to pick up players and do stuff, he just goes and jumps in the plane and goes and gets them himself. So instead of sending
Jerry
the
or Bidwell?
Bidwell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did not know that. Didn't look that one up. I thought this was funny. Arnold Schwarzenegger, love him, hate him, don't understand him, don't care about his politics, hate his acting, love his bodybuilding, whatever it is. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I love True Lies. Oh, I love
Arnold.
True Lies. I love
Arnold
True
Schwarzenegger has something going on with the municipality that he lives in, and I guess the gas company did some repair work, but they didn't repair the road, and it's in his neighborhood, and people's cars have been getting all screwed up because of these potholes, and he's been complaining about it forever. So he finally took matters into his own hands. He went and did this very staged photo where somebody half-assed mixed some concrete in a bucket and gave it to him and told him to throw it down in the crack. And, now that it's gotten some popularity, the gas company's like, "Oh, we're gonna fix it. Don't worry, Mr. Schwarzenegger." So I just thought this one was funny. There's a celebrity using his platform, his fame for something good.
For some good. Yeah.
Well, where there is good, there is also some sad news.
I believe, folks, we call that hashtag first world problem.
Yeah, first world problem, right?
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx, don't know the validity of everything that is said here. Grabbed this one late last night, but news says that Jamie Foxx had stroke, and I love Jamie Foxx. I think that he's hilarious, and I think that he's broken some of these barriers that are put up by so many, and I don't know, man. I like him. I don't know anything bad about him to not like him. So what I see, I like him. So, hope he does all right and everything is good. Get the concrete in the hole. Oh yeah. I tell you, I've had a lot of friends 40 and under that have just collapsed out for a jog in their sleep.
See, that's the problem. You're out for a jog. Anyone working out, that's just a death trap. It's much.
That ain't true.
It's better just to sit in your hole on your couch and.
The only thing you don't do is you don't eat like bonbons or donuts all the time. So
that's what you think.
Yeah, at least not on camera.
That's what you think.
Jeffy, it's your time. Your time to shine, sir.
Where's my list? I'm glad Purple's here. I'm glad Purple, Crow, and Rue are here. This is a good one for all of you. For all of
Bruce says going to the gym in an hour. Uh-oh. Be careful. Be careful. Take your time. Drink some water. Stretch and flex. Stretch and flex.
Okay, so this is going to be a fun one. I think it should be the first. A few of them you should get. A couple I went. Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's see.
Right.
Let's see.
All right. Let's. Okay. So
take that off.
Take that off. You're going to close the chat. I don't want that. I want this one. I want that one. There we go. All right.
Booyah.
You got 5 guesses to name top 10 sports cars
in the world.
Yeah.
Oh man. I looked this up too because I was going to throw this at you, but some of the names of the cars I had no idea what they were, and so
really?
I've
heard all of them. I've heard of all, but
I'm going to go with a Corvette. Chevy Corvette.
Number 2.
I'm going to go with a Ford Mustang.
Number 1.
I'm going to go with a do I have to give you a specific type, or can I just give you like the brand?
Sure.
Because I'm thinking Lamborghini, but I don't know. Is it like a Countach? Is it like there's so many Lamborghinis, right? Number 3.
Number 3, Lamborghini Countach. Number 3. Look at that. 3 guesses. Top 3. Boom. Click out of the park. Out of the park.
So would the next one be Ferrari?
That is the Testarossa is number 5.
Number 5 is the Testarossa. Okay, and then Porsche.
I thought this was interesting.
Porsche 911 Turbo.
No, 550 Spider as number 6.
Wow.
Yeah, that
isn't the 911 Turbo like the best one? What about I know that was my 5. What about like a McLaren? Is something like that in there? Is that
No.
too super?
No.
That's supercar. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
I mean, I could say like BMW. I could say, Toyota Supra, Nissan 350ZX. American cars. Camaro.
Horrible list. Purple says 911 is so iconic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would have
Yeah.
definitely thought.
Yeah.
The
number 4.
What? Yeah, I want to hear. I want to hear.
Number
guess.
4. Number 4 is
Dodge Viper?
maybe no, but
wow.
There is a Dodge at number 8, Crow Resin. Number 4 is the car by probably the most iconic name in cars.
Ford?
No. The Shelby Cobra.
Well, Ford bought Shelby, but yeah, okay, I got you,
Okay,
Shelby.
Yeah, but Shelby Cobra.
Yeah.
Shelby Cobra, right?
Because I was thinking like an Acura NSX, but that's a little bit newer. The Toyota Supra, those were all those kinds of cars.
Oops, I'm losing. Where'd that go? Yeah, I wish the DeLorean was on. I wish the DeLorean was on the list. Was that a sports car?
DeLorean.
Was a sports car? DeLorean, a sports car?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. All right, so
it's
number
like those
1,
casual like sports shoes.
Number 1, Ford Mustang.
Okay, yeah.
Number 2, Chevrolet Corvette. Number 3, the Lamborghini Countach. Number 4 is the Shelby Cobra, and the number 5 was the Ferrari Testarossa.
Yes, nailed this list.
Number 6 was the Porsche 550 Spider. Number 7, which kind of surprised me, the Mercedes 300 SL.
Okay.
Number 8,
Mercedes of a sports car.
Crow Resin, I think, threw this out, the Dodge Charger.
The Charger.
At number 8, you said Dodge, what did you say? Dodge Viper? What did you say?
I said the Viper, yeah. But that might be considered a supercar. I don't know. Because it's got the V12, so. Or V10, whatever it is.
I don't know, Rudigs, if Teslas are sports cars. I would not count I would count them in the sports car genre.
Wouldn't be very fair to a lot of other cars.
This next one surprised me. I'm surprised it was on the list when I typed it up. Crow Resin had to listen to me type this up into my little document here, so I have it on my screen. And I'm like, what? That one there? So Crow Resin, he didn't want to know what the topic was. He didn't want to have any shout out to Crow. He did not want any advanced knowledge of what was happening, so he could think about it overnight. But he heard me mumbling as I was typing this up. Number 9, the Mazda Miata.
Oh, my son would be. But here's the question my son would ask: is it the one with the cool flip-up lights, or is it the newer one that doesn't have the flip-up lights? Because in his eyes, the one without the flip-up lights is garbage.
Okay, that would
just saying.
Make sense. Tesla isn't iconic either.
He's almost 15. He knows a lot about life. Like I would think that.
Apparently, he doesn't know how to prevent his dad from crashing a drone. But
all of these lists that people make, like what is their criteria, right?
They're all subjective. Yeah,
it's opinion based because
they are.
I would say instead of the Miata, you should throw like the Honda Civic in there because of what people have done with that car to race it, right?
But that's not a sports car.
Well, Miata's not either.
Well. All right. Number 10 is interesting.
It's convertible.
Number 10.
I hope you tell me it's a Ford Raptor.
It is not. It is not. It is not. I would say this is the most iconic car on the list.
MG.
It is a famous car.
Aston Martin DB7.
It was made famous in a movie.
A Firebird. Oh, the Dukes of Hazzard car? The General Lee?
No, you had it. The Firebird.
Oh, the Firebird.
Firebird
Trans Am,
yeah. The Trans Am.
Knight Rider, baby.
Yeah.
Knight Rider.
Yeah.
Love that list, Jeff. That was great.
So who did they ask for this list? This seems like some old school armchair mechanic who goes to car auction and wears khaki shorts.
I wear khaki shorts. And they have pockets on the sides.
That's because we're
But I
old
do know how
men.
to drive stick. My Jeep's.
Because it's old men. I don't know how to drive a stick. We're old men, and that's what we do. Is we're the.
You don't know how to drive a stick, Jeff?
I do not. My entire family makes fun of me because I.
Oh my God! All right.
I was doing. I was. You know I do.
I'll meet
You know I do a lot of community events, and years ago, one of the community events was sponsored by the local car dealership. And they had brought these cars and they were parked in the parking lot. And when the event started, we had to move them. The guy goes, "Here, go move the car." Okay, so I went. Fucking too many pedals. I don't even fucking start the thing. So I get out of the car. I walk back. The guy's yelling at me. He goes, "Move the car. I told you to move the car." And I'm like, I don't know how. I don't know how. He goes, "You don't know how to drive a stick?" Oh my God. Guy grabs the keys out of my hands the entire night. He just kept yelling and making fun of me because I did not. I said, "Dude, I don't even know how to start the thing. There's like too many pedals." He goes, "You don't know how to drive a standard." I do not.
I was trying to win the attention of a young female in my younger days, and we worked together at a restaurant. And we left the restaurant. We were going to go hang out. She went to get in her car, and it wouldn't move. And she's like, "I can't get my car to move." And I'm like, "Oh well, let me try." Right. And she gets out, and I look in, and I see the third pedal, and I just backed up, and she was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I can't drive that thing. I don't know how to drive that." Right. And so the girl had to like call her dad, and like he had to come up there, and the clutch was out. And I remember standing there with her until he got there, and he got there, and he was like, "So what's wrong?" And she was like, I can't drive it. And he was like, "Well, what about him?" And she was like, "He can't drive it either." I remember the look on his face that was like, "You are not a man." And I've had that vision in my head, for a while, so that when I met my wife, and my wife had a manual. She went on vacation for a week, so I stole her car and I taught myself how to drive. She gave me some pointers, but I taught myself how to drive. I screwed up her car, probably in the process, by the amount of times that I stalled, but I taught myself how to do it. And then the very next car I bought was a manual, and I've had a manual Jeep ever since. Once you drive manual, I tell you, you're physically making that car go, right? Like you are putting it in motion. You are controlling it. It is such a fun drive, especially like on the local roads around here, because they're 1-lane roads. They're windy. They're covered with trees. You get lots of shady areas, and we'll take all the stuff off the Jeep and just go drive around local just to get out, listen to some music, and drive. And it's just, and I got the long shifter in the Wrangler, so you just sit there and just, bah, bah, bah. Oh my gosh, love it. All right.
My problem is that's my bass drum foot. So when I'm rocking to the tunes, I'm hitting my bass drum. Right now, don't get me wrong. I do make the sounds. I do make the sounds when I'm driving my little electric standard car.
You hold on to the automatic shifter and pretend you're shifting.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
I do. I'm driving down the. I got that. Yeah.
I would tell you to get something that has electronic shifting, but that's not the same either. So
I was doing something, and my son goes, "Do you even know when you would do when you?" I go, "No, I have not a clue when I'm supposed to go up." And I'd forget. And
you'll hear it. You learn to listen, not look.
And there are other people there are other people in the house who can drive a stick, and don't let me forget the fact that I cannot.
Yeah.
And when I was looking at a car, somebody else in my house said, "Okay, forget that one. It's standard." Okay, forget that one off the list.
Yeah.
Some cars didn't even make it.
Rue says here that when he came back to Toronto, the roads were designed different than they were when he was in the islands of Portugal. I grew up driving stick around DC, and if anybody's ever been to DC and seen DC traffic, like driving stick sucked when you were stuck in bumper to bumper traffic, right? So I can totally feel that statement, because here where I live now, nowhere near as congested, and it's so much fun to drive. There were days that I absolutely loathed driving because I didn't want to have to go sit out in traffic and do the manual. But anyway.
That is true. That is it. We are done.
I think that's it. Yeah. So that was awesome. Thank you for letting me get my Dan Snyder rant out of the way, because I hate that MFer, and I hope he just sails off the Kyrie's flat Earth edge in his yacht. Just like go around the other side of the flat Earth. I'm not wishing any ill will on anyone.
I told you. I told you bologna is just hot dogs for flat earthers, right?
You did. Maybe he'll have a ton of that on his yacht as his food.
Maybe. Do you think he cares?
He does not at all. You know what? I take that back. I think he does in the sense that he didn't win, right? And we'll all look at it as a win for him because of how much money he made and yada yada. He's not going to prison. Like there's a lot of reasons why he won, but he doesn't think that he won. And I'll tell you why, because he was adamant that he was not going to change that name. Adamant. He went through great measures to try to avoid that name from having to be changed. And he finally felt too much pressure when FedEx came in and they were like, we're dropping the name from the stadium, bro. He was like, no, we're good. I'll change it. I will do it. No problem. And then that's when all this other stuff really started popping up, loud. And so to him, I feel like he thinks that he lost because I think he thought he was playing chess, right? And he just wasn't very good at it, is what it is. So I appreciate the conversations. I appreciate you sitting here with me each Saturday morning and having a cup of Joe. This, like you've said, this isn't the only time that we get together and talk. We talk before the show. We talk the night before the show. So trying to make sure we're informed and, we can be entertaining and definitely get some topics to talk about.
Folks, there's topics we didn't put on there. We didn't talk about the Discord, U.S. secrets. We didn't talk about. There's a number of things that we nixed from the. We have a long list, and there's things that we nixed, and we could go on.
Another shooting in America again. Another week in a row.
Question for Crow. Any kids die from transgendered people, transvestites this week? It's a weekly question I ask Crow. Ask him every Saturday.
Damn.
If there's any, horrible. if any, because that's what you guys seem to be concerned about. Is
It is definitely a hot topic, and it seems to be around the world right now. So, because there was I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I read things and I see them. I don't necessarily retain everything that I read, but there was I believe it's an African country that just completely outlawed it. Said like, we will not tolerate this, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on with that subject. It's again
fun fact.
Why are we talking about this and not what you said, right? Like
in my Discord server, I do have a channel now for U.S. secrets. So if you have them, I have made a home because apparently
I'm not a part of that one.
Apparently,
I'm not supplying them.
Apparently, every Discord server is supposed to have a channel for that. Apparently, it's what I read. It's what I, It's what I.
He did it in a Minecraft server.
He did. He did. And it is.
Oh my!
It is. Gosh. It in a Minecraft server. Yeah.
Whoa! 14 countries. See, that's what I was talking about. Like, it's not just here. It's
okay, but there are
a big deal everywhere.
Okay, but when I was growing up, there was like 100 countries. Now there's like 200 and some. Like there are countries I've never even heard of. Like every time I watch the news, they talk about this is just one of the 222 countries in the world. I'm like, can there be this many? How are there all these new countries? I just don't understand. There was 100 countries when I grew up.
Yep.
Now there's thousands of countries. I just don't get it. So 14 out of what's the math? Crow, do the math. 14 out of however many countries there are now. 200 and something.
I always just have to wonder. When things like this come up, when people try to make topics, when they try to highlight them, on the paper with the highlighter, there's a lot of stuff on the paper, right? But we're just going to highlight this, and this is what we want to focus on. I want to know what else is on the paper. Like, why are we so focused here when I know this isn't the most stringent topic that can be talked about? It's important. And there's a group of people that will continue to drive the importance of that. But when you start to see that mainstream media start to push stories and they go from being secondary stories to being the top story, and no matter what channel you put it on, it's the same. Well, what else are we supposed to be talking about? What else is going on, right? Like, so that's where my mind.
Yeah, Purple Haze dropping insults. I love it.
Dropping knowledge.
When I grew up, it was like the Great British Empire. My boy Julius. My boy Julius. Like nobody went against my boy Julius. Like, a
lot of people tried to kill him in private, though.
My boy Julius. He ruled with my boy Julius.
Mark Anthony was not down with that.
The singer? Wow.
Yeah.
The singer? The singer?
Yeah.
Oh, wasn't he married to somebody?
Oh, Jeffy,
All
let's
right. We got to
get
go.
out of here. I got hockey.
It is going to be nice and warm. I've got yard work to do. F1 with Dismal and Dandroid. I'm going to hopefully try and get to today. There is XFL, there's USFL, there's shed cleaning, there's power washing decks.
And there might be some Sons of the Forest tonight.
There better be, because you should see what Earl can do now. You should see what he can do. Oh, he's got this shotgun now. He didn't
because he found the shovel without me.
He's got this shotgun now. One shot just blows the crap out of these people. He was showing me last night.
I tell you, as soon as we got the pistol the other day and we were running around, they were running away from us. That was kind of cool.
So. Oh, wait till you see the shotgun. The shotgun.
Right. Don't ruin it for me. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, wait till you see it. It is adequate.
All right.
It is very adequate. Thank you, folks. Thanks for everyone. Too many people in the chat to mention, but SPG, we're all sending our thoughts to SPG as he tries to figure out how he's going to get to Minnesota and how he is going to deal with that phase of his life. And if you don't know, well, ask him and he'll fill you in on the story. But we got to figure that out for SPG. Rude Diggs and Purple, and of course Crow Resin waking up early. He's probably still just lying in bed watching this. Watching this before he gets out of bed. But yeah, one day I will confess where I got my top 10 lists from, but today's not the day.
Hopefully Crow's laying in bed with Penguin while he's watching us.
With what? With Penguin? Penguin with Charlie? Hope not. Oh boy, Charlie. All right. Thank you, everybody, and we will see you same course. Oh, we got to throw the closing slide on. Got to throw the closing slide on. We will see you back next week. Although in 2 weeks from now, we may have a time change. We may move to beer night in a couple of weeks.
Maybe.
Just to mix it up.
Just keep everybody on their toes,
Just to mix it up.
Thank you all.
All right. I'm hitting the end stream.
Bye.
And I'm going to say play outro.